Wow, that's a good way to start.
Are we live?
We are now recording, yes.
We'll edit this out later.
No, we won't.
Hello! Welcome to, we're going to do another episode of Beer Protocol today. I'm Jacob. Today I'm drinking Cobbler Mountain's cider with honey.
And I'm James, and I am drinking Sweet Baby Jesus by Dewclaw.
Cheers.
So, cheers. All right.
Today we were asked recently, how do I Hulk in Crisis Protocol?
That was the exact term, was how do I Hulk?
So, how do we Hulk? James and I have both played as the Hulk once.
We don't.
So we're qualified. For context, I successfully took out 2 characters with the Hulk.
I successfully got taken out.
James got to move forward with the Hulk, and then I Wakanda Death Starred him.
So we'll tell you what not to do.
So, I would like to do an episode on the Wakanda Death Star.
Oh yeah, we definitely do that. So, let's talk about the crooked Hulk.
Is he less crooked, Mears?
There we go. So, would you very good.
You know what we should do in the
Very good.
future? Editing and live. I should bring my copy of this game so we can have a
have
card
2,
that we can
yeah.
look at and then point at, so we don't have to
that'd be
lean
great.
over.
So, we're not going to run through the card because...
Are we not?
We're not going to do a character overview. We're actually going to talk about how to use him. Yeah, we're going to talk about how to use him effectively. And we're going to talk to him about how not to use him in a way that a Wakanda Death Star runs over and kills you in one turn, Jacob.
I took Hulk from full to dead. I did 20 damage and
In one activation.
one activation. I feel proud.
That was janky. You did use 3 different cards.
I used more cards than I needed to.
Yeah, it was insane. So, let's talk about the Hulk in the room. He does have 20 health,
But he only has 20 health.
yeah. There's no backside, so you're gonna want to run you're looking at his card. You're going, God, he has so much power. He's got so many good hits. All that, run him straight forward. No, he is gonna get Death Starred. He's huge. People know he's gonna do damage. Do not run him forward by himself. Yeah, and I made the mistake of running forward by himself. Technically, Zemo was with him, but the one dice roll was not as helpful as you believe.
So, since in that game I also had a lot of dice roll manipulation, in general, I was thinking about this earlier. Offensively, Hulk is very, very strong. He has lots of dice of damage. His damage only goes up. He has cards to increase his damage. Hulk can do burst like I think no other model in the game right now. The flip side is his defense is miserable. His defense is 2s across the board. Yeah. 2 dice on a defensive roll. Rerolls can help. In general, rerolls are less valuable the fewer dice you have.
Yeah, two dice by themselves, you get 1 reroll. Yeah, whatever. It's not going to be as beneficial as rolling, because you're going to be hitting, the Wakanda Death Star, rolling 10 dice, you get 2. That's not very good. Now, having say Cap,
Captain America,
take a redirect and take the hit upon himself, is great because now you're taking okay, sure, you get the Death Star. Cap's gonna take some hits, but Cap's got way better defense. He's got the vibranium shield.
Yeah, that's pairings a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of better stuff, which is gonna be better than just the Hulk by himself.
Another really important thing for the Hulk, James touched on earlier, defensively, he has the largest base in the game. So in terms of width, he's a lot easier to get line of sight to. He also has a much harder time benefiting from cover because he is size 4.
Except for MODOK. MODOK's got the same size. MODOK's the same size base.
Thank you.
Welcome. So,
James, thank you. Good correction. Thank you so much. Since he is size 4, that means that a lot of things that would give the cover benefit to other characters are not going to help Hulk out.
Walls at size 2, cars at size 3.
Also 2. Cars
2,
are size 2
2
for the most part.
The buildings at size, even the kiosk at size 3, in the base set, in the trains, there's nothing that's going to give him cover.
So, and if you only have 2 dice, even be able just to turn one of them to a block could help out a lot with cover. Especially since your opponent doesn't want to be anywhere near the Hulk, so it's probably using longer range attacks.
Yeah. So, basically, don't go by yourself. Always bring somebody with him that's going to be able to shunt off damage or do something to protect him.
Currently in the game, there are 2 models which can redirect an attack onto themselves away from Hulk. That is Captain America and Okoye with the Wakandan stuff. Both of them have better defensive dice than Hulk. They have abilities to help mitigate damage. They can help a lot. Would I run both? I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know what list exists right now. That would be the Hulk plus 2 shield models dedicated to him.
Now that's not a bad idea. But
It's
then
12
you're
points.
but then you're doing 12 points to guard one 6-point model.
Well, it's 12 points total, counting the Hulk. So you have a 12-point module when the average game size is 17.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Now, granted, if that 12-point module is camping on one half of the board, it is camping an objective and a point. Maybe. Like if Hulk is holding something that gives you 2 points a round and you're camping the crap out of it.
Now, that's a good call, though, is if Hulk runs over, does a quick search, and like picks up an artifact or picks up the engine or picks up the whatever, and he's like, oh, you're going to take a point a round. Who cares? He's got 20. Run him to the back and go, cool. Do you want to come over and get the Hulk? He's carrying a 2-point per round model.
So I have a hard time saying any model should just run away unless that model is such an insignificant part of your game plan. Hulk is not. If you take the Hulk to camp on hold an asset or a civilian or some other movable objective, and you're spending your time running him away, he's not going to be effective. He's a short movement.
But if you're going to camp, like, say, another objective,
point.
Another objective with holding like the football, then you're getting 3 points around, and you're scaring the crap out of anyone who's going to be like, oh, cool, I have to go take on the Hulk to get this.
It's pretty scary until Hulk has thrown all of the terrain.
Yeah. Now, on the other flip side of that, I do think Hulk is good for one thing. Hulk is really good for clearing objective campers. Especially if you have like 3 or 4, like the one we were playing last night, where you are sitting on an objective and everyone around the objective gets an extra power from it. Now, I had Zemo, I had Zemo, I had Crossbones, and I had Red Skull, all just basically sitting on top of an objective, going, "Come get me! I'm right here."
Spoiler: now, I couldn't come get him.
You couldn't get me. Now, Hulk, on the other hand, though, say he doesn't even do his jump at 2, which, by the way, his jump is amazing because you put the 2-inch down, you place it, which now you're getting like 5 inches because his base is so friggin' large.
Important factor for those folks from wargaming backgrounds. We actually looked this up to confirm. For Crisis Protocol, within is not completely within. It is just within.
Just touching it.
As long as your base is overlapping that endpoint at the end of the measuring stick, you're good. So you can, especially with a large base like Hulk, you can really genuinely cheat more distance out.
So yeah, I actually wrote this down. So if you don't even do so you're getting 3 energy per round. Not even doing jump. So if you're close enough without even doing jump, you can get into the objective, do strongest there is, basically either pick up a character and throwing a character away, or say picking up a kiosk or something larger, because he can pick up to a size 4, which right now we don't have one, but the trash truck is coming out and it's a size 4. So he can run over, pick that up, and now since that is not an attack, strongest there are is not an attack, you're bypassing Vibranium Shield, you're bypassing Black Panther's Vibranium Armor, defense abilities to say, on an attack...
Venom's counterattack.
On an attack, strongest there is not an attack.
And that's for throws in general. It's part of why throws and characters who have access to throws... you should have some on every list. Because there's terrain, you better have a way to use it.
Now, strongest there is, basically you pick up something, maybe doing 3 points to a model. Or what you can do is you thunderclap, hitting everyone within 3, which you're now hitting like 3 or maybe even 4 characters if they're close enough.
Now, granted, I think friendly fire is not a thing.
Friendly fire is
so
probably
you
not
will
a thing.
hit your own allies, so position it.
Yes. Now, if Hulk runs in there and does this, yes. And then you do, so strongest, right now you've already hit somebody or you tossed them away. You've now done Thunderclap, so you're doing 5, how many?
5 dice on Thunderclap.
So you're doing 5 dice of damage on everyone around you. And then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway, and I'm just going to do a strike. And you're pushing somebody else off of the objective. So you're doing a crap ton of damage, and if you're adding cards to that, you're doing even more damage. Now, the downside is, strike does not give you power.
Hulk actually can have trouble generating power, which is why he gets 2 extra every power phase.
So that's also significant because I've seen a lot of battle reports where it's like, oh, I hit somebody with strike, I hit him 2 damage, I get 2 power. It's like, no. You don't get power from strike.
Hulk is, I think, the tier 1 glass cannon character if you're looking for, like, what does the most damage quickly right now.
Which is strange, because in the comic books and stuff, he's not super
glassy. Well, you could make the argument that health is its own defense in this game. He has more health than any other character, flat, total. It's just
4 for Koya, 4 for Widow. 5,
no, I'm counting
6?
both sides. Like, MODOK is the closest with 10 on one side and 4 on the other. Like, I think one character, like 12 is the average total health. The problem, and this is really notable, is a lot of characters, even when it sucks that your character gets dazed and can't activate that round, that also means they can't take any more damage.
That's true.
So you could have a situation where another character will get knocked out or will get dazed, and then even if your opponent has 2 more models to activate near them, that's not going to translate to more damage against you, whereas Hulk is going to stay on that front side and just soak all of it.
Which we did actually find, and I'm going to do a sidetrack here. We've actually found a very interesting interaction, which was confirmed, that a dazed character cannot be targeted and cannot be affected, but still stops terrain being thrown. So if you throw something and it hits a dazed character, it stops. It immediately stops, and
terrain's still destroyed, I think.
It's destroyed, but it's a dazed character. It doesn't affect anything.
It's also worth noting that not being able to get that dazed condition means that status conditions do affect the Hulk quite a bit. Like, actually, in general, like, we'll probably touch on it at some point. Status conditions are really relevant in Crisis Protocol because it takes a whole action to get rid of them. So almost all of them are, like, on that borderline. It's annoying, and I want to get rid of it, but not annoying enough that I want to spend a whole action on it.
I mean, I actually wrote down on our notes, Stagger kills the Hulk. Stagger says you get 1 energy per...
Stun. That is stun.
Stun. It's stun. Sorry. Stun gets you 1 power no matter what happens. So if it says...
1 power per effect.
Per effect. So it's like, okay, cool. I got hit. I just took 4 points of damage. I took 5 points of damage. Hulk gets 1 power.
During the gain power phase, his ability, which gives him 2 more power, would not trigger if he's stunned. It would only get the 1 that everyone else does.
So he is so power hungry that that's kind of funny. He's so power hungry that
so pleased with yourself.
Drop it. I inadvertently did an awesome. He gets basically nerfed by not giving him power. If you can drain power off of him, there's several attacks that do this. If you can basically stun him, he has to then spend an action to shake it, which means he's not hitting you with a Thunderclap. He's not hitting you with Hulk Smash. He's not hitting you with a Strike.
I mean, he can do all of those things with a second action.
But he's not getting 2.
So, I mean, normally when you're dazed, your stats conditions all clear when you flip to your damage side. For a lot of characters, getting hit with something like Bleed, which is 1 damage every activation, in a low health game, that 1 damage is 25 to 20% of their total health. Mm-hmm. That feels really substantial. But you can kind of coast and be like, well, I'm going to flip. I've got 1 health left anyway. I'm going to flip. I'm not going to spend an action to clear it because there's someone who has an activate over here who will just hit me for 1 damage, and it's not going to make a difference. So I'll just take both actions. Hulk doesn't really get that option. He just has to deal with it.
Yeah, and that removes a move. I mean, don't be afraid to run away. I know it doesn't sound like something you want to do, but don't be afraid to spend 3, I think it is for Gamma Leap. Don't be afraid to spend power to do Gamma Leap. Don't be afraid to use your short movement to just get the heck out of there.
Yeah, that's something after a few games where I'm still falling prey to, is once you get stuck in, not every character is equal. Like, some characters really do not want to be surrounded in a heavy melee. I'm thinking of...
A Death Star and Hulk.
Well, I'm also thinking of Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man actually has much higher offensive potential than we realized.
Yep.
And he can do it from fairly far away. Part of the reason for that is that he does not want to be next to you.
Yeah. Red Skull wants to be near somebody. Don't be afraid to move him away. That kind of stuff.
Like, Spider-Man actually wants to yank one character out of formation, pull them to him with his superpowers, and then use his attacks to pummel them. He does not want to be surrounded because he only has 3 defense dice.
Yeah.
His health total is not that high. Even though he gets 2 rerolls for his defensive checks, again, rerolls are worth less the fewer total dice you have.
Right.
So at most, he can still only block 3, and in general, in Crisis Protocol, offense is better than defense.
Yeah.
The exceptions, and there's always exceptions, that I've seen so far who can stay in melee, take their 2 attacks every round, and be perfectly content. Captain America.
Yep.
He's just hard to hurt.
Black Panther.
Black Panther, to an extent. If Black Panther flips to his red side, he is now officially in crisis mode.
Yeah.
Because his major defensive power is off and is much worse. Okoye, a little bit, wants to get... Well, remember, she counts blanks when she's within 2.
That is true.
So Okoye has the same sturdiness that Cap does, just 1 fewer die. And she gets rerolls if she's in the Wakanda team. So Okoye can stick in.
So let's actually talk...
Sorry, one last one to mention. Venom is terrifying.
Venom is terrifying. We'll talk a whole episode about Venom.
Venom is downright dumb.
So... Let's talk about something I actually didn't write down.
Hulk is not necessarily someone who wants to stay in melee either.
No, he wants to kill somebody. He wants to flip them, and you're going to probably do that for most 4 hit point or 5 hit point characters. You're pretty much going to take out in 1 round.
If you get a good roll, especially if someone's already weakened, Hulk can daze or knock out a character in a single hit.
Now let's talk about factions, because with Wakanda, re-rolling the defensive dice.
So we're changing topic completely from the episode for Hulk.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to put him in like...
well, he only has 1 faction right now, which is he's only an Avengers character.
But he still gets the Wakanda thing if he's
in the Wakanda.
Yes. So
true, you weren't clear with what you were saying.
Yes. So let me talk about if you drop him in the Wakanda faction, it doesn't really help him very much. You get a re-roll for your defensive dice of 2. Once again, not that important. But look at Cap and the Avengers. Not having to spend 1 power.
Wait, let me get what you're saying clear. Running the Hulk and the team he's actually an affiliated member of is better than other teams.
Yes.
Because Avengers also get Avengers Assemble, giving him another short movement out of activation.
I don't know if that would be that good.
Are you kidding?
I mean, okay, yes, it would be that good, but also...
If it's the difference between making 2 attacks or 1 attack... Then
there's
yes, it's
other
worth
cards.
1.
There's other cards that are better than that one, I believe.
Have you looked at Avengers Assemble?
I did, and I really think there's better cards.
If you're running an Avengers list, you quite genuinely should be considering Avengers Assemble.
You should consider it. I don't think it's that good.
The one I'm a little more neutral on is all the Avengers pay 1 to heal 1. Situationally good.
Now, I would say him with Red Skull and the Cabal is actually pretty good. So, he gets the power for every
attack that
does damage. He's going to be doing damage. And it's attack, so not the throw. Also, if you kind of like walk him near Red Skull can be like, oh, you're targeting me because I'm throwing out 7 dice on my blasts? Nah, whatever, I'll pass it off to the Hulk. Hulk takes 3 damage. And the thing that I keep forgetting every single time...
I didn't forget.
Every 3 damage, he gets 1 extra dice
for offense.
Yeah,
so
for his attacks.
Hulk does more damage the more damage he has. Good. That's a good rage mechanic. My problem with that is that in Crisis Protocol, this game rewards almost overmuch when you target and burst fire a character down before they get to do something.
Yes.
Like 100% target priority in this game is, did this character already activate? Then I don't care about them. Like, how do I mitigate damage from the next damage source? So you focus fire, you burst fire down. If your opponent is focusing on Hulk, especially if Hulk's already activated, there's a decent chance they might be able to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
if Hulk is anywhere near damaged enough where that extra dies are really going to start adding up, he's going to get focused.
I mean, you could use Hulk as a distraction.
The most expensive model
it's
of the game.
It's a very,
is a hard
very expensive distraction. But at the same time, I'm terrified when the Hulk is across the table because I know what he can do. And if he gets into position to do what he can do, then I'm just like, there goes a character. And if it's like Red Skull, or if it's, say, I mean, even Venom. I mean, Venom goes, cool, I get a counterattack. Or Zemo, I get a counterattack. And then it suddenly becomes, yay, I threw like 3 or 4 dice, and Hulk hits me again for another 7. Mm-hmm. It becomes a very powerful way of drawing people to a board edge. It becomes a very good way of going, I'm sitting on this objective, you have to come to me, and there's a Hulk there. He's terrifying, but he's also not so terrifying.
So in War Machine, and I'm sure in Warhammer and other similar games, there is this concept of a second wave model, or a second wave unit. Not the person you want reaching the enemy first, the person you want reaching the enemy after that. In War Machine, you have a Warjack that's just far enough back that it can charge whatever reaches your troops.
Yeah.
The Hulk is what that feels like for me. He is not the tip of your spear. You don't want him engaging first.
Yeah.
Oh, he's slow, so that might actually be kind of hard.
I still was able to with Gamma Leap.
Which
it
is
was like,
probably why you died.
And that's the thing is that you go, oh, he's got Gamma Leap. You know, I spend my 3 on my first turn, I can jump out there, and then suddenly he's out there with no power, and he's just like, well, crap.
And then he's getting shot.
I'm getting hit.
So I think Hulk is what you want far enough back that he's not immediately attackable by your opponent's heavy hitters, but close enough that he can engage when he activates.
So Jake, let's talk about one thing: low threat and high threat.
So in this game, the points you can bring to a scenario is determined by that scenario's threat level. Currently, the published range is 15 to 20.
Yep.
So the 3 sizes that we've seen with the current game is 15 points, 17 points, and 20 points. Mm-hmm. Hulk is 6 points. So that's large.
If you're taking almost half of your entire squad is Hulk,
you gotta have a plan for it.
Yeah.
Now, you can keep Hulk in your back pocket. You're allowed to bring 10 models for your army list, then build whatever team you can with the points available once scenarios are picked. So Hulk could be something you keep in your back pocket, especially if you take the 2 20-point scenarios as part of your scenarios. Because then you could choose it, and then you could just be like, cool, I now know I'm going to have a large point scenario. I can bring Hulk.
You are on the edge of, on high point games, I'll bring Hulk. I'm on the edge of, on low threat games, I'm bringing Hulk. Because on low threat games, a 6-point model with 20 health doing that much damage, you're going to be bringing... So you're going to be outnumbered all the time.
Actually, I want to mention that real quick. If you take Hulk, your opponent probably will outnumber you.
Yes.
That's just a factor of the fact that Hulk costs as much as 2 characters. So if your opponent wants, they can very easily, with the same logic you're making, sub 2 characters for Hulk.
Yes.
Now, are any 2 given characters going to do as much as Hulk? That really depends.
Now, on a low point game with a high amount of terrain, I want to say take Hulk. Because Hulk will run over, and if you're like, somebody's running Okoye and Black Widow, and just to get the activations, Hulk is going to take them out pretty quick. Now, if they're running the Wakanda Death Star, it maybe is not as advantageous to take Hulk, because you're going to be so down on points.
If you lose Hulk early, you will be down on points, but you still won that game.
Yeah,
pretty handily. So it is by no means a death knell.
Yeah. So the one thing I did do with that is I used Hulk as a distraction. I had Hulk and Zemo on one side.
You did not intentionally use Hulk as a distraction. Don't give yourself credit for that.
I kind of put him on the side with on the
you
side
wanted to
of,
reset that game and start over.
Yeah, kind of. But once I did figure out, okay, you were bringing all your heavy hitters on your right side. I dropped everything to the left, and that actually proves advantageous because you only had like Doc Ock, and then you had to spend the entire rest of the game running over as I'm just scoring points like crazy. And I did do things like run the heck away. Zemo carrying the football, getting 2 points around was just like, nope, I'm out.
Also, you successfully getting the die roll to get the football in the first place.
Yes.
Because I tried
You
twice
twice in a
before
row.
you, and you just rolled better.
I was just rolling great crits.
All right, slight side note. Let's talk about the Wakanda Death Star real quick. We'll talk about it more when we do the Wakanda team. Just for clarification, so you know how I took out Hulk in one turn. This is not at all a thing I think would be super common, but we're just starting.
Don't do this all the time.
Wakanda Death Star. It really is 2 action cards that kind of fueled it. One of them is Wakanda Forever. Every Wakanda faction character, of which there's only 4.
Yep.
Shuri, Okoye, Black Panther, and Killmonger can each spend an energy to make a cost 0 attack. That's if you're set up right, which in this case my setup was try to get on camera. The points up front were Black Panther and Killmonger, and then back within 2 inches of both of them was Okoye, so I could redirect attacks away from the front to my defense in the back.
You also had another good card, the R&D card.
R&D is Wakanda R&D is another card that lets you choose a character. Doesn't have to be the active character, and they can spend up to 5 energy, and then they give the energy they spent up to that many characters. So basically, you move energy from a character who's not engaged. In this case, Doc Ock for me, and he shuffled energy to my trio of people. Then once I had Hulk in range, and you almost broke it by having Venom yank Black Panther out of formation. I was real scared because you almost took Black Panther out in one shot because my defense was bad.
Because Venom's awesome.
Venom is very good. What I really wound up doing was Wakanda Death Star. They all got attacks because because Okoye had a range 4 basic attack, which is super relevant.
Did not know that. Now know it.
So I got 3 attacks off from 1 action card into Hulk. You didn't roll super great on defense. I think I did like 10 damage.
I was rolling 2 dice, and I was just like, oh, look, you did 7 damage to me? I blocked 1. That's 6.
Killmonger was, of course, as you could probably guess, the Death Star has to involve Killmonger.
Yes, Killmonger.
Because Killmonger then responded with his action card, Usurp the Throne, which gives him more dice and victory points if he takes out the highest threat target, which was Hulk.
Strangely.
Shock. So really what it was I used a lot of action cards to get extra attacks, to fuel energy, to give Killmonger enough energy to play Usurp the Throne, and in addition, Killmonger's passive effect, which gives him more dice if he's attacking the same target multiple times, also triggered. So I was rolling like 10 dice on Killmonger's basic attack.
Yeah.
By the time we were done, and then I hit him with his powered up attack just to cap it.
Hulk still,
was
after
exact
all that
damage.
Hulk, after all of that, still was like, "Oh, I survived. And like, okay, and Killmonger's second attack, and I was just like, "Oh, he's got a second action."
Yeah, Killmonger made 3 attacks in a turn.
So now
was that always going to happen?
Don't always do that. That's great, but he spent 3 cards doing it and dropped like 5 or 6 power doing it. So while it sounds awesome and it did kill Hulk in like 1 turn,
1 activation.
2 activations technically, because he had to take a second action to do another attack. But you did bring Hulk from I'm fully healthy to oh god, I'm dead. Now, still annoys me to no end. But you did burn a lot of cards.
I still lost that game.
So let's talk about.
That's cards. How that happens.
Speaking of which, let's
so
look
Hulk
at the cards.
Can be burst down.
Now, how can I get Hulk's health back?
There's actually not a lot of healing in the game. It's one of the reasons Venom is real dumb right now because he has a way to heal himself.
Healing.
Patch Up is look for it. Found it. Patch Up. Wow, I am not used to this.
You're not good at this. Just drop on there. Patch Up.
Patch Up, as far as I know, is the only generic healing you can take in the game.
Generic healing. It is, you spend, 2 power? Just read it.
I'm working in the mirror direction to mention right now.
Yeah. So you spend 2 power and...
No, you can spend up to 5 power to play this card on another allied character within 2 of whoever's spending power. Then you remove that much damage.
So you're still within 2, and then you can heal up to 5.
Which is very good.
But he also has Anger Management.
Anger Management is a card. Any non-Hulk Avenger can, within 3 of the Hulk, can spend up to 5 energy. The Hulk takes that much damage and gains that. I hate this camera. And gains that much power. So basically, I'm not a fan of this card. I'm just not. Because, like, best case scenario, Hulk gets 5 extra energy. Awesome. He lost a quarter of his health, and that's already a really precious resource for him.
Yeah.
Granted, it does give him 1 more die on damage. So if you're confident that Hulk's going to clear wherever you're sending him.
Now, I would say that's not a bad card if you're doing the objective clear, because you go, cool, I'll spend this, and I'll spend 3 power. Because I know in 3 power, he's just taking 3 damage, and that's giving him extra die, and now he's getting extra damage, and it's becoming insane, the amount of damage he can do on the burst, because it's 1 attack, but you're rolling for each individual person. So it becomes multiplicative. Oh God,
Multiplicative.
That's it. Multiplicative. I still can't even say it.
Whereas my thought on that one is because there is a cap to how much effective damage Hulk can deal out. Like at some point, if Hulk has dazed all the characters around him in 1 action,
Yeah.
or worse yet, there's a character with like 2 health left who has to spend a second action to take out. Otherwise, he risks getting hit back.
Yeah.
They're all still going to be there. And so if you do 10 damage to a character with 3 health, that's a lot of overkill. That doesn't get you anything.
So, anger management, nah, it's kind of okay. Now, the other one that I am completely unsure of is Smash.
Smash!
So Smash basically says you spend power, grab something, a terrain piece.
Within 1, if an active character, this is also the only card we talked about that is active character.
So it's not Hulk exclusive.
They can, if they're within 1 of interactive terrain feature that is a smaller size than them, they can spend 2 power to play this card. They grab that terrain feature, tear it in half, and use it as boxing gloves, adding a number of dice to the active character's attacks. This activation equal to the size of the terrain feature.
So say Hulk, size 4, picks up the kiosk, rips it in half, smashes you with it. He's getting 3 extra dice.
Yep.
Now, he can do that with Thunderclap, which gives him 3 extra dice. But at the same time, that's adding to just the attack, which means Vibranium Armor, the Vibranium Shield, all defensive abilities basically counteract that. But is it better then to just pick up just do,
why not both?
Pick it up and just throw it? Well, that destroys it, and so is throwing.
There's a lot of terrain in this game. Why not both?
Could do both.
Honestly, I would take Smash over Anger Management for the Hulk every day of the week. Because Smash gets you 3 dice. Remember, for the whole activation, not 1 attack.
Right.
So if Hulk...
No, I think it says 1 attack.
No, it's activation.
It's activation?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
No, because that's 3 extra dice from all of your attacks that turn.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
And Anger Management will get you 1 extra die, and you took damage. And, you got power. And you have to spend power on Smash, so you're at a power deficit.
And Anger Management is just limited to the Hulk, and Smash is not.
But Hulk also has a 0-cost attack. That would be at 8 dice.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, you're just like, this is the hardest hitting attack in the game.
Yeah, it's insane.
At some point, you're into win more, and win more is a bad place to be because you've already won. And while you're right, they've got defensive mitigations. Like, if you win more against Cap and he gets to count defenses, sure, you're right. Yep. That does somewhat mitigate having more dice, but you still have double the number of dice Cap does.
That's true. True.
At some point, he really only can block so much.
Yeah. So I would take as anger management is kind of nice. Smash is even better, and just because the mere fact that it's not limited to Hulk.
Although Hulk is easily the one who would get the most use out of it.
Walk over to a size 4 building, rip it apart, and get
No. You cannot, because it is smaller than you, not smaller than or equal.
Okay.
Which is why most size 2 characters are not going to get benefit from it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still pick up
1 die. You get 1 die.
Yeah, it's
and
not
you
worth
spent 2 energy for 1 die.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Now, like a size 3 character, like Ultron, getting 2 extra dice to his ranged attacks would probably be pretty good. Don't think about how that works.
I pick up the terrain and suddenly I can shoot beams out of my eyes better.
MODOK would probably enjoy it. MODOK's a size 3.
I pick up a building and suddenly I hit you with my brain better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the next card, Gamma Launch, that we want to talk about.
Gamma Launch.
Gamma Launch might actually be a reason to bring Hulk.
If this
by
is a
itself.
reason to bring Hulk.
If Hulk is within 2 of another character that is not holding an asset or a civilian, so not holding an objective, Hulk can spend 3 to play this card. The other character is placed within 5 of their current position. What's really important here is that this is an active card, not the Hulk's turn.
Correct.
So say Killmonger or Venom.
God, I didn't even think about Killmonger with this.
Venom is like, hey, I'm ready to go. I've got all my energy. Hulk's like, I've got 3. Let me give you a lift. And just chunks Killmonger. And then
It's a throw, isn't it? Or is it...
No. It's just place.
It's just place, okay.
So if you could go over terrain with this.
Yep. So...
You could throw them on top of a building.
You can do things like... And it shows Spider-Man, and that's completely acceptable. Anyone that has a long range, this is amazing for. Because they land, they can pick up a football, and then just book the heck out. And they can do a long or a medium, and just get out of dodge.
This is almost better than drop off, than flyby.
So much better than drop off.
Drop off gives you an extra attack.
Still, but it's still not. I still think it's not as good as this one. It's a range 5.
Drop off has more requirements, absolutely.
Plus, the person activating it has to be the one flying.
Yep.
So you're picking up and dropping somebody off doing a 0 attack.
Yeah.
That's great, but now you have somebody with you who's doing a 0 attack.
It's also just hard to overstate, though, how good some 0 attacks are. Especially if anything gives you energy based on number of damage you do.
Red Skull.
Killmonger. Again, any way to put Killmonger dead on center of whatever you want him to take out is good.
I mean, I still think it's...
No,
I still think it's good if you... Now, it said without the asset or a civilian.
So you can't throw an objective out of the danger zone. You still got to work for that.
But it's still good getting somebody there. Or it's really good when, like, say, like our last game, where somebody has skewed the board and everyone has been shifted to the right and you're stuck on the left. You got a slow character, say like Venom. Hulk just picks him up and throws him 5. And now he's longer than a medium at that point.
No, 5 is the biggest stick in the game. That's longer than a long.
That's longer than a long. So you moved longer than a long, and now you're back in position to start scoring points.
And it is within.
Yes.
And it does not have a size requirement. Hulk can chuck MODOK.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, though.
I actually wouldn't do that.
MODOK and Hulk together is too many points.
That's too many points. But, like, that, it's super good. Yeah, it's a great card. It does also incentivize you on keeping Hulk a little further back from the front line because Hulk has to be around to use this. And it only costs 3. Only costs 3 sounds like a lot, but Hulk makes 3 a turn.
Yeah.
So you are kind of giving up a round of strong attacks for the Hulk to do this.
I mean,
but if it's turn 1,
you also have the ability
2.
of like, say, Spider-Man or say even Black Widow or somebody's near you, and your Hulk is about to die. You know that they're going to just turn on the character next to them. Hulk can just be like, "Say, friend," and just toss. And now you have a character outside their range, and Hulk can die, but now you have a second person that's not going to die. So yeah.
A lot of uses for it. It's a great card. I'm out of drink. You are almost out of drink.
Hold on.
I think this is our traditional ending point.
It is. So, in summary, basically, don't think that Hulk is going to survive everything, run him out there, and just beat face. Use him strategically. Keep somebody with them, because he's going to need the backup.
If you're going to keep someone with him, like, I think he actually has a lot of potential if you have someone that can take attacks off the Hulk.
Yeah.
Especially if your opponent is spreading out and going after objectives, the Hulk might only be taking 2 or 3 attacks a given round. So even just taking one of them away can be a big plus for you.
So we even said something in our old War Machine days, which is give your opponents bad decisions.
Yep.
Always have them going, oh, if I do this, this bad thing is going to happen. If I do this, bad thing is going to happen. Which bad thing do I want to happen? With Hulk, you present a lot of those.
Now, also like in War Machine, though, Hulk should be your second wave model. He's going to be, don't make him the front of your list. Make him in like the second wave of attackers once your opponent is already concentrated, maybe 1 or 2 guys in one spot, but don't hold them back forever.
Yeah.
Because in this game, you really can be too far behind on points if you don't aggressively go after scenario. So you do have to be aggressive. You cannot tank Hulk in the back of the room.
Yep. Clear your objectives with get them back out. Don't be afraid to retreat.
And absolute, if it's towards the end of the game, just burn him.
Burn him.
Use him. Take out whatever you can, except he's going to go down. Like, you're going to lose models in the game, so... Yeah.
I mean, heck, you got the Wakanda Killer team heading towards you, and you know you're on the last round, you need to score some points. Just have Hulk just run up and just stand next to him and just be like, I'm going to hit you. You either can try to take care of me, or you can kind of continue on that way, but I'm going to take out somebody. I'm going to throw you around. I'm going to just do horrible things to you.
It's also worth noting that a lot of game effects, like especially the base set push effects, a lot of them are size limited, and Hulk can't be pushed by those.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about that. Yeah, like Hulk has on his basic strike. If you get a wild, he just pushes anything.
Also, Hulk just can't be thrown.
Yeah,
by anything.
By anything at the moment.
Like only Hulk can throw a Hulk.
Yeah,
he's size 4.
Yeah.
So that's worth noting.
He can't be pushed then either.
Some push effects don't care about size. Like Shuri can just push him all day.
That's right, because Shuri now has the push that says nothing.
A lot of the push effects that were outside the base set and in the first round of expansions, I think ignore size.
Now this can all change. Now
and it will change.
We saw Doctor Strange. We have Guardians of the Galaxy coming up. We've got. I would really want to see Hulk and Groot just walking next to each other, because that seems like it'd be a terrifying combo. How it's going to work with Loki, God knows.
To be honest, my personal feeling, and playtesting will bear this out, I'm genuinely curious if Thor is just going to be better at what Hulk wants to do and a lot tankier.
Yeah, where we were probably going to be back into, once again, there's a better
version
you
of
get
this.
There's better versions at a better cost. Yeah.
Because it's more expensive, but Thor's going to have an area effect burst.
Yep.
And we really should point out, Thunderclap is a B3. It's a beam attack. It's not an area. It's not an area burst. He has to pick a direction with the stick.
Oh, he is beam 3. Yeah.
So
I mean, you still can get a lot of people with it.
True, which Thor actually is an honest to god AoE. So he's an AoE around him. I really can't stress how exciting and just gosh darn tanky I think the Asgardian team benefit's going to be. Pay a power to heal one or get rid of a condition.
When the Asgardian team comes out, we're definitely going to have to do an episode about just the amount of jank that you can do with just their affiliation.
I genuinely think it's going to be a real question for some matchups is, can you do enough damage to outlast the Asgardians?
Yeah.
And it's going to be questionable.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Once again, we are Beer Protocol. And, game off.
Game off.